What you need to be prepping for right now is attacks. Attacks all across the US, UK, Canada, and other NATO countries. I'm talking about explosives, people firing into crowds, trucks driving into highly populated areas to run over people, and similar threats like that. Don't think you're special and don't think it can't happen to you. It could happen to anyone, anywhere. There are some essential pieces of gear that you need to gather and have ready. Where you put this stuff is up to you. Some of this stuff could be kept in your home, some of this stuff could be carried on you, or you could create some kind of tactical response duffel bag and keep that in the trunk of your vehicle. The reason I'm saying that is because this could happen anywhere. It could be while you're out working, running errands, or anything like that. Your gear isn't going to help you if it's sitting at home. Scenarios like these can happen at any time. Maybe you're at work and you have a son or daughter at the mall and they call you because there's a mass casualty event going on and you have to go get them. There are so many different types of scenarios that could happen nowadays. Before we get into gear, you need to keep some safety tips in mind in case someone's targeting you or there could be another big attack. Now, say you're sitting at a coffee shop or a restaurant. Make sure your back is not facing the door. Make sure you're facing the door and you could see any threat that's coming. If you see the threat coming early on, you can get your weapon ready or you can decide to leave. It's up to you. If you're at a theater or anywhere else, make sure you know where all the exit points are. When finding a parking spot outside a store, for example, try to find a parking spot that's closer to the store and where there's more people. When parking your car, make sure there's no shady looking people to the left or right of your vehicle. If there are, back out and park somewhere else. When you're getting in your car in a parking lot, look around. If there are vehicles parked beside yours, see if there's some suspicious looking guys in there. If they're parked on your driver's side, get in the passenger side and then move to the driver's seat of your vehicle and then lock your doors. Or if you're at a mall or a store and they have security, ask the security guard to watch you while you get in your vehicle. Or sometimes if there's an employee in there, they might be willing to help you. If you're a female, then a guy or a girl will be willing to help you. If no one's willing to help you, then maybe it's a better idea to call a friend. It's better not to risk it. Another important thing, again, with your vehicle is that as soon as you get in, lock the doors. Wherever you are, whether you're outside waiting for the train to come or you're at the bank, make sure to keep your head up and you're always looking around. If you're in a crowd outside at a festival or something like that, always stay away from the middle. Try to stay near the outside or near the walls if possible. Because usually when attacks happen with either a truck or some sort of weapon, they usually go for the middle where there's the most people. If you're in line somewhere, make sure you don't let people get too close behind you. Make sure you're looking at them. Your right hand shouldn't have anything in it. It should always be empty so you can hit someone or reach for a weapon. If you're with someone who's always in her own world and oblivious to her surroundings, then it's your job to take care of them as well. Don't have your head down and your eyes glued to your cell phone. Make sure you're always looking around. If you do this, you can usually spot suspicious activity long before anything happens. All of these tips can just be summed up to situational awareness. This may seem like basic info, but make sure your phone is fully charged before you go outside. You can't call emergency services, you can't call family members if your phone is dead. Keep an extra power bank and cable in your vehicle as well. Now, if you're going to go the duffel bag route, make sure you have one that's long enough to fit your weapon. Put some extra magazines in there. I would recommend 6. Or you could concealed carry as well. Hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about, but I'm being very vague with the word weapon because these platforms are very sensitive now. If it's in your vehicle, you could keep a ballistic helmet. Maybe people think this is doing too much, but if you're firing off your weapon at someone, you're hiding behind a corner, or you're peeking over something, your head is going to stick out, and that's the last spot you want to get hit at. Everyone should have body armor. Level 3A is good, level 4 is better. Try and get a small and compact plate carrier. You could also get soft level 3A body armor as well, so this is really easy to hide under a shirt, and you don't have to worry about anyone seeing it. If you're not worried about concealing it, then just go for the level 4. That's a maximum protection. A good pair of work gloves can always come in handy. Bear spray is a great weapon to have if others are not legal where you live. If it can defend you against a bear, it can definitely stop a crazy guy with a knife. Keep a good fixed blade knife on your belt. You could take out a much stronger person if you put some force behind it. There are a lot of really good videos online that could teach you the basics of knife fighting. You don't necessarily have to go to some dojo and learn from a teacher. You can watch some videos, buy a rubber training knife, and just practice at home. If you want to carry a knife in your pocket, make sure it's in your right pocket. So put your phone in your left pocket and your knife in the right. Reaching for your knife quickly is a lot more important than reaching for your phone. You do this so you can reach for your knife quickly in your dominant hand and use it without switching hands. Always have good footwear that you can run in. No more socks and sandals, and no more flip-flops. If you can, go to an actual running specialty shoe store and they'll see how you walk and they'll recommend a good pair of shoes based on that. If you don't want to go through all that and you just want to get a good all-around running shoe, go for the Under Armour Charged Rogue 4. If you have some good trail running shoes, those are great as well. Those are really durable and you have a good grip on the ground so you don't fall down when you're running or fighting. Even lightweight tactical boots are good. You need some medical supplies. At the very least, get a good quality first aid kit. Also add pressure bandages, quick clot, and tourniquets. A tourniquet is something that you should try and keep on you. What you could do is get a tourniquet and get an ankle holster and just keep it on that. As long as you don't wear skin-tight jeans and your jeans are somewhat loose, it's usually not visible. I don't go to concerts, but if you're at a place like that and an attack happens to you or to the person who forced you to go there, a tourniquet can save someone's life. You usually use a tourniquet when there's severe bleeding from the arms or the legs, when direct pressure and wound packing and other stuff like that is not working. Usually there's bright red blood spurting or flowing heavily. With all this medical equipment, make sure you actually know how to use this stuff. I know most people won't do it, but you should try and take a first aid course. If not, at least watch online videos on how to use everything and practice at home. Make sure you have a fire extinguisher because they're going around setting people on fire now. You should have one at home and in the trunk of your vehicle. You could buy a real fire extinguisher, or they also sell disposable ones now. They're like $20 at hardware stores. You need a flashlight because something could happen at night, and you could even be in a store and the attacker could shut off the power and do the attack then. Get a proper flashlight like this that you can also strike with. Get a flashlight that has a strobe feature. That way you can temporarily blind them and then go in for your follow-up attack, grab them by the throat, whatever you're into. This may seem like something that you don't need, but zip ties or flex cuffs in case you need to restrain someone. If someone's out of control and they keep on fighting but they don't have a weapon, it's better to just restrain them than have to hurt them really badly. A crowbar or pry bar in case someone you care about is trapped in a building and you need to get them out to rescue them. Bolt cutters may come in handy as well in case you need to break a lock. Obviously, I want to clarify, the bolt cutter and a lot of this other stuff will be in your vehicle. I don't expect any of you to be carrying this stuff on you. Keep some energy bars and some water bottles as well. It could be an extended emergency where you're stuck somewhere and you get hungry or thirsty. If you're caring for someone who's just been hurt or been through a scary situation, giving them some food and water can really help them feel comfortable as well. An emergency blanket to cover them is a good idea as well, because people usually start shivering and they get really cold after events like the ones we're talking about, or if they get injured. Now, if there's some sort of chemical or other type of attack that's going around, you need a good all-around gas mask and filter that'll cover all those threats. Just be careful with this. Make sure you get a good quality one. Make sure you get something that's legit. I see people keep buying stuff from overseas, but that stuff is cheap quality and hasn't been tested properly. In most cases, it's usually really low quality stuff that you get from overseas. You don't want to find that out after a disaster happens. Save up and get a good quality one. I don't sell them, but I have some 20% off codes for some really good quality ones. Message me or comment down below if you want a discount code for it. Now, there are lots of people who think I'm saying that you're going to need to get every single thing that I mentioned in this video. That's not what I'm saying. You need to assess your own needs and look at what you think is important. Also, you're going to buy what you can afford. If you found this video useful and liked the idea, then start thinking about making your own tactical response bag. If you know any other items that could be useful in this type of scenario, let me know down below. If you have any other advice to survive the dangers that we could face this year, then definitely leave them down below. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe.